Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everyone. You got your boys, Lanny Burt, the Dividend Diplomats. You know us. We love VYM. We love SCHD here on this YouTube channel. But here's the question. Is there a better alternative to the two high dividend paying ETFs? We're going to evaluate one of their competitors in this video today and tell you if we are buying this ETF over VYM and SCHD going forward.
Smash that subscribe button. Give us a nice thumbs up here on the channel, guys. Come on. It takes no effort. Click that subscribe button. Did you click it? You got it? All right, good, guys. Let's get to 18,000 subs.
Cheers to the people who just subscribed to our channel.
I'm drinking water.
Probably the better option, but cheers to you anyway.
Burn his Miller Lights. Light is Miller. The Miller is light, guys. So yes, a third ETF here to consider that could be better than my VYM and your SCHD, brother.
Yeah, so let's hear it. So today we are going to talk about iShares Select Dividend ETF, ticker symbol DVY. It's under the big iShares portfolio. So we're talking a large major fund family and their high dividend ETF alternative. So what we're going to do, when we're going through this, we're going to talk about DVY, and then we're also going to have the same comparable metrics here for VYM and SCHD, just so you see how they compare. And then we'll let you know what our thoughts are at the end. How does that sound, Lanny?
That sounds great. iShares Select Dividend ETF. Again, ticker symbol is DVY. We're doing this analysis as of August 24th, guys, but really things shouldn't be changing too much within these ETFs. But man, a third dividend ETF here we're evaluating. Are they really better than my VYM? Nothing can be better than VYM, brother.
Maybe. Well, that's not the question. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like, is Dr. Pepper better than Coke and Pepsi? That's really what this one kind of feels like. So, all right, let's look here. DVY's expense ratio. Let's just go right across and start comparing them one by one here. DVY's expense ratio, 0.38%. VYM's expense ratio, 0.06%. SCHD's 0.06 expense ratio as well. So, all right, to start, womp, womp, womp. So let's go a little bit more further here. The number of holdings. DVY has 100 holdings, 18.9 billion assets under management. VYM, 462 holdings, 48.5 billion assets. SCHD, 104 holdings, $48.4 billion in assets. So, Lanny, what's your initial gut reaction so far on some of the high profiles?
Obviously, over 6 times more expensive of an ETF than your VYM and SCHD. So that's going to take away from your return. Now, the number of holdings at 100 resembles SCHD, but let's peel back. Let's lift up the hood and see what we're working with. The first position, the top holding in SCHD is Amgen at 4.42% of the ETF. VYM, it's JP Morgan Chase now at 3.3%, according to what what site have you used for this, Bert?
I use the ETF comparison website just so I can get a better side-by-side chart here. I had to kind of crop it together. That said, though, it's all the same. It's all pulling from the same information here.
So then the number one holding, again, SCHD's was Amgen at over 4. VYM's was JP Morgan at over 3. DVY's, Bert, I'm going to let you take this one.
Altria ripping heaters here at 2.5%. So they go strong for the yield right out of the gate with there. But it's an interesting top 10 from this point, to say the least. So I'm just going to start reading some of DVY's, Lanny, here. We're going to have the chart up here. Altria, Verizon, IBM, Aniak, Lionel Basel, Philip Morris, Prudential, Ford, Edison International, and Seagate Technology. It's an interesting top 10. I have the same reaction of what your face is saying here, Lanny. It's not like...
it's funny. It's like but then again, I own Verizon, I own IBM, I own Lionel Basel, I own Philip Morris. So I've got 4 out of their top 10 in my portfolio.
Yeah, same here. I'm with you on there. But let's talk about this. VYM's top 10. We'll just put the image up and read them off. JP Morgan, J&J, Exxon, Procter & Gamble, Broadcom, Home Depot, Chevron, Merck, AbbVie, and Pepsi. And what are SCHD's top 10, Lanny?
Amgen, Cisco Systems, Broadcom, Home Depot, AbbVie, Merck, Coca-Cola, Chevron, PepsiCo, and Texas Instruments. So DVY definitely gives you, a different mixed bag of dividend stocks. I wouldn't really call them heavy dividend growth stocks. They do grow their dividends, but these growth rates, some of them are strong, some of them are not.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
they're very much a mixed bag.
yeah, and what jumps out to me is the lack of what kings and aristocrats there. I think Altria. I can never remember. They're technically a dividend king, right?
You could say they're grandfathered into when they were combined with Philip Morris, but
It's
that's about it.
yeah, IBM's the only other aristocrat versus VYM, which just feels a lot more balanced from what you would consider from like a true dividend growth, dividend aristocrat, dividend king based portfolio. So it's just jumps out to me. And again, DVY is clearly lagging VYM and SCHD here, like it did with the expense ratio.
But now assets under management. Now we know VYM and SCHD, especially SCHD over the last few years has been heavily popular with a lot of fund dollars going into that ETF. So when you actually break it down, SCHD is at 48.4 billion, VYM's at 48.5 billion. But what is DVY, the ETF we're looking at right now? What are their assets under management?
18.9 billion. So clearly it's got substantial holdings, it's got substantial cash in the fund. This isn't some podunk out of your garage ETF that people are investing in. It's got a lot of funds. It's just not the same size as VYM and SCHD. So that's interesting there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's transition here, Lanny. What's the big question everybody probably has here? We've been talking
yield.
All right. VYM's yield, Lanny. Pulled this off their website, so you may disagree slightly with this one, but we're pulling off of Vanguard's website. Showed the SEC reported yield 3.13% for VYM, SCHD 3.54%. We know there's always that little bit yield premium for them. Lanny, what is DVY's reported yield?
It takes the right hook, gives them the uppercut because DVY is coming in screaming with a 3.76% yield, 22 basis points higher than SCHD, and 63 basis points higher than my VYM.
Interesting. So
it's 20%.
Yeah, let's look at dividend growth here. VYM 6.08% for their 5-year growth rate from pulling this from Seeking Alpha, just some aggregation. SCHD 13.92%, although I can tell you it has not been that this year for SCHD. That has slowed down in 2023.
Slowed down probably below zero.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it.
Bring it on, SCHD. Let us know in the comments here how you've been feeling about
this. Isn't about VYM versus SCHD, Lanny. This is about the two of them versus DVY. So what's DVY's 5-year dividend growth rate?
Now, so you've gone through SCHD at close to 14, VYM over 6%, but DVY, Bert, pretty solid, I would think. 6.24%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're looking at their top 10. I'm sure they're dealing with a lot of the same headwinds from dividend growth in 2023 that we are, especially when.
Yeah, they're probably not getting much from Verizon or IBM. Let me just tell you that.
No. So when you go through that, we'll go to the yield and then the 5-year growth rates, just to repeat them and summarize them. DVY 3.76% yield, 6.24% 5-year dividend growth rate, 3.13% yield, and 6.08% dividend growth rate for VYM, 3.54% yield for SCHD with a 13.92% 5-year dividend growth rate.
Wow. But guys, when you look at the actual performance, though, year to date, DVY is actually down the most at over 7%, almost 7.5% down this year. That's followed by VYM is down 2% this year, and SCHD is about 3% down this year. So because of the lower holdings, the impact and swings, and just looking at the top 10 list, I could see a couple, one name in particular that's probably been dragging down. It might be their number 2 holding. But
Yeah.
But over
Yeah.
the over a 5-year pattern, SCHD's at almost 39% over 5 years. VYM way behind at 21%, but DVY is half of that at 10%.
It's not perform. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's the laggard of the performers. I guess that's what happens when you have Verizon as your number two holding. Not to steal your joke there, but like,
Now, maybe if you're just strictly income and that yield always stays between that 3.754% and your growth is over 6%, and you're focused strictly on DVY might work in some portfolios. I know Bert, yeah, I see you're shaking your head.
I mean, I appreciate you appreciate the pitch for it, right? But I'm just going to be honest with you. I can't think of any reason why I would ever pick DVY over VYM or SCHD. I can't think of any reason why that would be like, this is my choice over these two, whichever one you pick from that group.
DVY, somebody watching this owns it. Let us know why you own it right now. Why you own it over VYM, why you own it over SCHD. Let's take a pause here. Get those comments in. Let us know, because maybe there's something that we're missing with DVY that we haven't covered here on this video. Obviously don't forget to like this video as well.
Subscribe to the channel, and then just remember, if you're not with us, everybody, you're against us. Get out of here.
Get out of there. That door can open up. And
that wall can't, but we'll put you through it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's right. Hornswoggle style. Guys, that was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the DD. Over and out.